Does entrepreneurialism come into the music business, the creative business in general, more now than it did in the past?
Of course, and that's almost directly attributed to social media, right?
What are your thoughts on all that?
Well, I think like any new, I'll call them formats, like any new format, I'm excited by the potential. What I do love is I love that we continue to decrease the barriers of, artists and talented people kind of putting themselves out there and giving them a platform. By the same token, there's a lot of music being made people shouldn't be hearing, and you wish there was maybe a little bit more of a filter on that. But I think there's so many cross sections and parallels with a lot of other things. But bluntly, I think all the social media stuff is an amazing tool for people to use, right? I think the only time it becomes, dangerous to the person, or the only time, maybe dangerous isn't the word. I think the only time it hurts more than it helps is when you just get wrapped up in that one avenue, right? And we see it, we see people get really caught up in the interactivity that it brings. And it's I've watched some young artists get really wound up about, the last 2 videos I've had didn't get as many likes as the one I released, 3 weeks ago, and then just trying to get into the nuts and bolts of why that was and this. And what I've always tried to remind people is that movement is not the same thing as progress, right? So this is not the same thing as this, right?
That's great.
And I think a lot of people, when they're looking for an opportunity or waiting for an opportunity, or they want to be in a business, they want to be an artist, they want to be famous, they want some other life for themselves, and they're not being presented directly with any opportunities they feel like to make that happen. Well, this is a real thing that they can control, right? They can control their presence here.
So right, yeah.
They can control their presence here. They can do this thing. They can interact, and they get this kind of instant
hit,
feedback from it, right? And they, again, the danger there is like, okay, yeah, but who's the feedback coming from, and can you really trust that? We've all seen the kids on American Idol that obviously, objectively cannot sing, and they leave crying, going, I know I can sing. All of my friends say I'm the best singer they've ever heard. It's like, man, your friends are either lying to you or they're idiots, and that unfortunately has gotten you to the place where you thought you were going to come onto a singing competition and be competitive, right? So it's the same thing with some of that stuff. Is like, man, I love all the social stuff. I love it as a tool. I love it as a platform. The people that use it well, that's great. The people that are finding a way to have a career and fund a life in the music business that maybe they couldn't otherwise have.
Right. That
Fantastic.
seems to be the best possible use of it.
That's right.